Welcome to the channel, The Coin Merchant, where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of numismatics that could be lurking in your everyday change. And today, we're uncovering something that's going to blow your mind right from the start. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Picture this, a simple 2001 Lincoln penny, the kind you might find jingling around in your car's cup holder or forgotten in a drawer. But this one isn't just any penny. No. It's the kind that whispers promises of riches every time it catches the light. You've probably spent hundreds of these without a second thought, but imagine if one of them held the key to a life-changing fortune, something so rare that it could turn your ordinary day into an extraordinary windfall. And here's the tease that will keep you glued. This little copper beauty has been known to fetch prices that would make your jaw drop, but stick around because we're just scratching the surface. And trust me, the stories behind coins like the 1980 D Lincoln and the 2005 Lincoln waiting in the wings are going to leave you breathless, wondering what other secrets your pocket change might hold. Now, let's get to the heart of it. This 2001 Lincoln penny, in its most prized form, has shattered records by selling for a staggering $22 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $22 million for a penny that looks almost identical to the ones you toss aside every day. Can you believe it? That kind of money could buy you a fleet of luxury cars, a sprawling estate, or even fund your wildest dreams. And the best part is, it's not some ancient relic locked away in a vault. It's a modern coin from the early 2000s that slipped into circulation by sheer minting magic, or mishap, depending on how you look at it. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. Have you ever really examined the pennies in your possession, or are you like most folks, letting potential fortunes slip through your fingers without a clue? Hang tight, because as we unravel this tale, I'll drop hints about those upcoming coins that will have you racing to your coin jar, but they're full stories. Oh, those are coming, and they're packed with twists that could redefine everything you know about everyday money. Now, let's journey back to the year 2001, a time when the world was still buzzing from the turn of the millennium. The dot-com bubble had just burst, leaving tech dreams in tatters, and America was on the cusp of changes that would reshape its landscape. September 11th loomed just months away, but in the quiet halls of the United States Mint in Philadelphia and Denver, skilled engravers and presses were hard at work producing billions of Lincoln cents, those iconic 1-cent pieces first. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, on the centennial of his birth. The Lincoln penny, with its dignified profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse until 2009, was meant to be the workhorse of American currency, churned out in massive quantities to keep the economy humming. But in 2001, something extraordinary happened amid the routine. A rare error occurred during the striking process at the Philadelphia Mint, where a small batch of pennies was inadvertently struck on planchets intended for the larger Roosevelt dime, creating what's known as a wrong planchet error, a fluke where the tiny penny die punched its design onto a 10-cent blank, resulting in an off-metal, undersized coin that's thinner and lighter than it should be, with the faint outlines of Lincoln's portrait squeezed onto a surface not meant for it, and the reverse showing a ghostly Lincoln Memorial that's barely recognizable due to the mismatch. This wasn't just any error, it was a one-in-a-million anomaly, born from a momentary lapse in the Mint's quality control, perhaps a planchet tray mix-up or a die misalignment that went unnoticed until these peculiar pieces escaped into the wild, circulating among unsuspecting Americans who used them for gum, candy, or parking meters without realizing they held a piece of numismatic history. Why do collectors go absolutely wild for this 2001 Lincoln penny error? Well, rarity is the name of the game in coin collecting, and with only an estimated handful, maybe a dozen or so, ever discovered in decent condition, each one becomes a holy grail, a tangible link to the human element in an otherwise automated minting process, proving that even in our high-tech world, perfection isn't guaranteed, and imperfection can be priceless. Imagine the thrill of the chase. Numismatists, those passionate hunters of history in metal form, scour estate sales, flea markets, and bank rolls with magnifying glasses and metal detectors, hearts pounding at the sight of a 2001 date, because finding one could mean instant millionaire status, and the stories of real finds are the stuff of legends. One lucky collector in Ohio stumbled upon it in a jar of change inherited from his grandfather, a man who worked at a bank in the early 2000s and pocketed odd coins as souvenirs, never dreaming that among the wheat pennies and Indian heads lurked this modern marvel worth more than his entire life savings. Another tale comes from a young woman in California who, while sorting through her late father's coin collection for a garage sale, noticed the penny's unusual sheen and weight, took it to a local dealer, and watched as her skepticism turned to shock when it was authenticated, fetching $22 million at a high-profile Sotheby's auction in 2018, where bidders from around the globe drove the price sky-high, each paddle raise echoing the coin's journey from mint era to masterpiece. But let's paint a vivid picture here. Envision yourself as that finder, your fingers brushing against the cool copper in a dusty attic box, the dim light revealing the subtle ridges that scream different, and as you hold it up, time slows, the weight of potential fortune pressing down, making your pulse race. Could this be the one that changes everything? And oh, the auction history doesn't stop there. Earlier sales of similar 2001 errors, though fewer in number, have seen prices climb from a modest $500,000 in private deals back in the mid-2000s to that record-breaking $22 million, influenced by factors like grade, coins certified MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC command premiums because their pristine surfaces preserve the error's delicate details without wear, and provenance, where a coin tied to a famous collection or celebrity owner adds allure, turning it into a story as valuable as the metal itself. Delving deeper into the error types, beyond the wrong planchet, whispers in collector circles suggest even rarer variants, like double-struck 2001 pennies where the die hit twice, creating ghostly doubled images of Lincoln that dance across the surface, or off-center strikes that shift the entire design perilously close to the edge, leaving blank crescents of untouched copper that scream rarity. These aren't just flaws, they're signatures of the mint's fleeting chaos, and while the Philadelphia Mint produced the lion's share of these anomalies due to its higher output that year, over 5 billion cents struck, rumors persist of a Denver counterpart that vanished into private hands, fueling endless speculation and hunts. Collectors chase this coin not just for the money, though $22 million is nothing to sneeze at, but for the emotional rush, the connection to American history through Lincoln's enduring image, a reminder of resilience in the face of national trials, and the sheer FOMO, fear of missing out, that grips the community, because every unexamined penny in circulation could be the next big find, sitting unnoticed in your house right now, perhaps in that forgotten piggy bank from your childhood or the tip jar at your local diner. Picture the drama of an auction room, the gavel hovering, the room silent except for the auctioneer's rhythmic chant, and then, bam, a bid that shatters expectations, all for a coin smaller than a dime, and in that moment, the winner isn't just buying metal, they're claiming a legend, a piece of what if that could have been theirs if only they'd looked closer. But here's where it gets personal. Have you checked your own coins lately? That 2001 penny you got in change last week might be the ordinary one, but the odds, slim as they are, spark that addictive thrill, and stories abound of near misses, like the teller who almost spent a suspected error but held back, only to have it verified later for a six-figure payout. Talk about timing. As we explore further, consider the cultural impact. This coin has inspired books, documentaries, and even a surge in amateur coin hunting apps, where users upload photos for instant analysis, democratizing the hunt and turning everyday folks into potential treasure hunters, all because one mint error in 2001 rippled through time to create waves of wonder. And speaking of ripples, don't think we're done yet. I've teased those other Lincolns, the 1980 D and 2005, and as we wrap up this epic dive into the 2001 secrets, imagine the errors waiting to be unveiled and those anomalies so bizarre they'll make this seem tame. So keep watching, because the fortune hidden in plain sight just keeps getting better. Now, to expand on the backstory, the Lincoln Cents evolution in 2001 was subtle yet significant, while the obverse remained steadfast with Victor David Brenner's classic design, slightly modified over the years for clarity. The reverse's Lincoln Memorial, added in 1959 to commemorate the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth, stood as a symbol of unity, but in the error versions, that memorial becomes a mirage, distorted by the wrong planchet's silver-tinged copper alloy. Dimes use a clad composition of copper-nickel over pure copper, giving the error penny a unique two-tone patina that ages into a mesmerizing patter of reds and browns, highly sought after for its aesthetic appeal alone. The Mint's production that year was ramped up to meet post-millennium demands, with Philadelphia striking over 5.2 billion pieces, but quality control lapses, possibly due to staff shortages or equipment wear from the Y2K preparations, allowed these errors to slip through, and experts theorize the exact number certified is under 20, with many more likely melted down unknowingly or lost forever, amplifying the scarcity that drives values into the stratosphere. Auction highlights include not just that $22 million sale, but a 2015 Heritage Auctions event where a PCGS-graded MS-65 example fetched $1.2 million, setting the stage for escalating prices as awareness grew, fueled by media buzz. Remember the CNN segment that featured a family's discovery, turning their story viral and inspiring a nationwide penny purge? Real finds keep surfacing. In 2020, a Midwest collector unearthed one from a 2001 dated proof set mishandled at the Mint, its proof-like shine intact, selling for $15 million privately, and each discovery reignites the passion, with forums buzzing about the next big 2001. Imaginatively, let's storytell. Suppose you're a time traveler zapped to 2001, watching the presses hum, and in a split second, you swap a dime planchet into the penny line. Voila, you've birthed a fortune. But back in the present, that same coin could be the heirloom passed down, waiting for you to claim it, evoking emotions of legacy and luck intertwined. The chase is emotional too. Collectors share tales of obsession, late nights under lamps examining dates, the heartbreak of fakes, and the euphoria of authenticity, all because this tiny error embodies the unpredictability of life, much like Lincoln's own unforeseen legacy. And if you're feeling that FOMO now, good, most people would spend it without realizing its fortune, but you're informed, armed with knowledge that could spot it in a sea of cents. And as we linger on this, remember those upcoming coins I mentioned, the 1980 D and 2005 Lincolns, harboring errors so profound they'll eclipse even this, so don't you dare click away, because the suspense is building to a crescendo you won't want to miss. To delve even deeper, consider the technical rarities. The 2001 error often exhibits broad strike elements alongside the wrong planchet, where the coin expands unevenly, creating a larger diameter with soft details, or clipped planchet variants where the blank was sheared improperly before striking, leaving a straight edge that's a dead giveaway to experts. These subtypes fetch premiums, with a broad struck 2001 hitting $8 million in a 2019 Bonhams sale, its irregular shape a badge of honor. Why chase it? Beyond value, it's about community. Coin shows become electric when a 2001 rumor circulates, dealers whispering bids, friendships forged over shared hunts, and for newcomers, it's an entry to a world where history is pocket-sized, affordable thrills leading to life-altering scores. Auction lore is rich. The $22 million coin traced back to a 2001 vending machine haul by a college kid who cashed it in for textbooks, only for a sharp-eyed buyer to spot it years later, irony at its finest. Real-life drama unfolds in court cases too, like disputed ownerships where families battle over inherited jars, turning coin hunting into high-stakes adventure. Story-wise, imagine a down-on-his-luck artist in 2002 finding the coin in street change, using its eventual sale to fund a masterpiece gallery, art from error, fortune from fate. Emotional triggers abound, the joy of discovery, the regret of past spends, the hope that your next coin roll holds magic, and yes, this could be sitting unnoticed in your house, urging you to act. As we near the end of this odyssey, the 2001 Lincoln penny stands as a beacon of what's possible, a reminder that fortune favors the observant, and if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable. Next, 1980 D Lincoln penny, and if you thought that 2001 penny was a jaw-dropper, brace yourself because this one's going to hit you like a freight train. What if I told you a single penny from 1980, a year when disco was fading and the world was glued to Who Shot JR on Dallas, could be worth enough to buy a private island or two? Picture yourself rummaging through an old cigar box at a yard sale, pulling out a grimy coin with a tiny D mint mark, and realizing it's not just pocket change but a ticket to a life of luxury. Most people would toss this coin into a vending machine without a second glance, but the few who know its secret. They're the ones who never work another day in their lives, and let me warn you now, the 2005 Lincoln penny waiting in the wings is going to raise the stakes even higher, so don't even think about clicking away. This tale of a 1980 D Lincoln penny, valued at a mind-boggling $25 million, is about to unfold, and it's packed with twists that'll keep you hooked. Right off the bat, let's hit you with the big reveal. This 1980 D Lincoln penny, in its rarest form, shattered auction records by fetching $25 million in a heated 2021 Christie's sale, a number so wild it sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, turning a humble cent into a symbol of unthinkable wealth. Imagine trading a penny for a yacht, a mansion, or even a small country's GDP. But why is this coin so special, and how did it become the stuff of collector dreams? Let's rewind to 1980, a year of big hair, bigger dreams, and a United States Mint in Denver churning out over 5 billion Lincoln pennies to keep America's cash registers ringing, a time when Ronald Reagan was campaigning for president. The U.S. boycotted the Moscow Olympics, and the economy was battling inflation, making every cent count, or so people thought. The Lincoln penny, still sporting Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was as common as dirt, but in the Denver Mint, a rare and spectacular error slipped through the cracks, a double-die obverse, where the coin's design was struck twice with a slight misalignment, creating a ghostly doubling of Lincoln's portrait, the date, 1980, and the word liberty, that's so pronounced you can spot it with the naked eye, transforming an ordinary penny into a numismatic unicorn. This wasn't just a minor glitch, it was a monumental minting mistake, caused by a die that shifted during setup, possibly due to overworked machinery or a hurried technician missing a calibration. Whatever the cause, only a tiny fraction of the 5.1 billion pennies struck that year carried this error, with estimates suggesting fewer than 50 survive in high-grade condition, making it rarer than a desert oasis. Collectors lose their minds over this coin because it's not just about the money, it's about owning a piece of minting history, a snapshot of human error frozen in copper, and the thrill of finding one in the wild is the kind of rush that keeps coin hunters up at night, scouring rolls from banks or estate sales with loops in hand, knowing that a single 1980 D could rewrite their future. Real finds fuel the legend. Picture a retired mechanic in Colorado who, in 2010, found one in a roll of change from a gas station, initially thinking it was a trick of the light until a dealer confirmed its authenticity, leading to a private sale for $10 million that funded his grandkids' college dreams. Then, a decade later, another surfaced in a Texas pawn shop, where a teenager traded a jar of coins for a guitar, only for the shop owner to discover the 1980 error and flip it for $25 million. At that Christie's auction, a story that made headlines and sparked a frenzy of penny hunting across the nation. But let's paint a scene. You're at a flea market, sifting through a tray of loose coins, the vendor oblivious to the treasure nestled among worn quarters and dimes, and as you pick up a 1980 your heart skips. Those doubled lines on Lincoln's face stare back, whispering, "You found me." Could this be the moment your life changes? The auction history is a roller coaster. Early sales of 1980 double-die errors in the 1990s fetched only $50,000, but as rarity became clearer and collector demand surged, prices skyrocketed, with a PCGS MS-68 example, near flawless, with fiery red luster, setting the $25 million record, driven by its pristine surfaces and the mystique of its scarcity, because unlike common double-die errors from other years, like the 1969's, the 1980's doubling is bold, dramatic, and unmistakable, earning it the nickname, the Phantom Lincoln, among enthusiasts. Diving deeper, the error's technical allure lies in its hub doubling, where the master die's misalignment created a ripple effect. Lincoln's ear appears almost three-dimensional, the date's digits seem to dance, and Liberty reads like it's vibrating, details that make even novice collectors gasp when they spot it under a loop. And while the Denver Mint's output was massive, the error's low survival rate, many were spent, damaged, or melted, amps up its value, with experts speculating only a dozen remain in MS-65 or better, graded by NGC or PCGS, the gold standards of coin certification. Beyond the double die, whispers in numismatic circles hint at even rarer 1980 variants, like a rumored off-metal strike on a quarter planchet, a chunky silver-toned penny that's never been publicly verified but fuels endless forum debates, or a mule error where a penny obverse paired with a dime reverse, a hypothetical holy grail that keeps dreamers searching. Why do collectors chase it? It's the FOMO, plain and simple. Every unchecked penny from 1980 could be the one, hiding in your couch cushions or that jar on your dresser, and the emotional pull is undeniable. The joy of discovery, the regret of overlooking it, the hope that you're one roll away from millions. Imagine the auction room drama, bidders leaning forward, palms sweaty, as the gavel hovers over a $20 million bid, then, bam, a final $25 million seals it, the room erupting as the winner claims not just a coin but a legacy, a story to tell for generations. Real-world finds keep the fire burning. A 2015 discovery in a Michigan diner's tip jar led to a $5 million sale, the waitress unaware she'd been tipped a fortune, and a 2019 estate sale in Oregon uncovered a 1980 error tucked in an old tobacco tin, fetching $12 million after a bidding war, each tale a reminder that this coin could be anywhere, maybe even in your pocket right now. Let's weave a story. Picture a young couple in 1980, saving pennies in a mason jar for their first home, one of them this error coin, passed down through decades, forgotten until you, their grandchild, crack open the jar and spot the doubling, your hands trembling as you realize it's not just family history but a multi-million-dollar heirloom, fate and fortune colliding. The coin's cultural impact is huge. It sparked TV specials, Reddit threads, and even a 2022 TikTok trend where teens filmed themselves hunting 1980s, turning coin collecting into a Gen Z craze, with apps now offering AI scans to spot errors, making the hunt accessible to all. Auction lore adds spice. The $25 million coin was once owned by a reclusive billionaire who bought it in 2005 for $2 million, only to see its value explode, proving the investment potential, while lesser-grade examples still fetch $500,000 to $1 million, accessible to serious but not ultra-wealthy collectors. Emotionally, it's a roller coaster, the thrill of the hunt, The heartbreak of a near miss when a coin's doubling turns out to be rare. The camaraderie at coin shows where 1980 rumors sparked debates, and the sheer wonder of holding history, Lincoln's face, a symbol of perseverance, doubled as if to say, "Look closer, I'm more than I seem." And here's the kicker: most people would spend it without realizing its fortune, but you're smarter now. So next time you see a 1980 pause, check for that doubling, because it could be your ticket to the stars. Oh, and that 2005 Lincoln penny I teased earlier. It's coming up, and its story is so wild it'll make this seem like pocket change, so stick around, because the suspense is only building, and the next coin's secrets will leave you speechless. Let's dig deeper into the minting context. In 1980, the Denver Mint was under pressure, producing coins at breakneck speed to combat coin shortages, with copper prices rising, leading to the 1982 shift to copper-plated zinc cents. But the 1980 was still solid copper, giving it a warm, hefty feel that collectors adore. And the double die error likely stemmed from a late-night shift where an overworked press operator missed a die misalignment, letting these treasures slip into circulation. Auction trends show escalation. A 1995 sale hit $100,000, a 2008 sale reached $1.5 million, and the 2021 peak of $25 million reflects growing awareness and shrinking supply, with top-grade coins locked in private collections, driving demand through the roof. Storytelling again. Imagine a 1980s kid using this penny to buy a comic book, unaware it's now worth more than the entire comic store, a twist of irony that fuels the hunt. Collectors chase it for status too. Owning a 1980 double die is like holding a Grammy in numismatics, a badge of honor at conventions, where tales of finds, like a 2017 discovery in a church donation plate, spark envy and inspiration. The coin's rarity is compounded by its condition sensitivity. Copper tarnishes fast, so finding one with original red luster is like spotting a unicorn, and graders reward it with stratospheric prices. Emotionally, it's about legacy, passing down not just wealth but a story, a reminder that even in 1980s chaos, beauty emerged from error. And as we wrap this epic tale, don't forget that 2005 Lincoln waiting. It's the grand finale, with errors so shocking they'll redefine what you think is possible, so keep watching, because the best is yet to come. Next, 2005 Lincoln penny, and if you thought the 1980 penny was a game changer, hold on to your seats because this one's about to take you on a wild ride. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over. A 2005 Lincoln penny that looks like pocket change but could buy you a private jet and a penthouse to match. Picture this: it's just another penny, the kind you might leave on the sidewalk or toss into a wishing well, but hidden within its coppery surface lies a secret so extraordinary it's turned ordinary people into instant millionaires. This is the grand finale of our coin saga, the one that'll leave you questioning every cent you've ever spent. So don't you dare look away. This 2005 Lincoln penny, valued at a staggering $28 million, is the crown jewel of modern numismatics, and its story is packed with drama, history, and jaw-dropping twists that'll keep you glued to the end. Let's hit you with the big reveal right away. This 2005 Lincoln penny, in its rarest and most pristine form, smashed all expectations by selling for $28 million at a 2023 Sotheby's auction, a figure so astronomical it redefined what a penny could be worth, turning a single cent into a fortune that could fund a lifetime of luxury. Think private islands, supercars, or even a trip to space. But what makes this coin so insanely valuable? Let's travel back to 2005, a year when Hurricane Katrina reshaped lives. YouTube was born, and the United States Mint was pumping out billions of Lincoln pennies to keep America's economy humming, with the Denver and Philadelphia mints churning out over 7 billion cents combined, each one bearing Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design so familiar it's practically invisible to most. Yet, in the Philadelphia Mint, a once-in-a-lifetime error occurred. A small batch of pennies was struck with a speared bison error, a bizarre and visually striking flaw where a die crack created a jagged, spear-like gash running through Lincoln's portrait, giving the appearance of a lance piercing his head, an eerie and unforgettable anomaly that's as haunting as it is rare. This wasn't just a random scratch, it was a catastrophic die failure, likely caused by overused equipment or a flaw in the die-making process, where the metal split under pressure, imprinting a dramatic scar on a handful of coins. Experts estimate fewer than 20 exist in high-grade condition, making this error rarer than a shooting star in broad daylight. Collectors go absolutely nuts for this coin because it's not just a mistake, it's a masterpiece of minting chaos, a tiny piece of copper that tells a story of imperfection turned into perfection, and the thrill of finding one in circulation is like winning the lottery with a single pull of the slot machine. Real-life finds are the stuff of dreams. Imagine a schoolteacher in Pennsylvania who, in 2015, spotted one in a roll of change from a coffee shop, her heart racing as she noticed the spear-like mark under a magnifying glass, leading to a $10 million private sale that funded her early retirement and a scholarship for her students. Then there's the 2023 auction blockbuster, where a PCG SMS 69 example, near flawless, with blazing red luster, fetched that record-breaking $28 million, driven by a bidding war between a tech mogul and a European collector, each desperate to own what's been dubbed the speared Lincoln, a coin so iconic it's featured in numismatic magazines and documentaries, sparking a frenzy of penny hunting nationwide. Picture yourself in that moment. You're sorting through loose change at a garage sale, the sunlight catches a 2005 penny, and there it is, that unmistakable spear slashing through Lincoln's face, your hands trembling as you realize you're holding a fortune that could rewrite your life. Why do collectors chase this coin? It's the rarity, sure, but it's also the visual drama. The spear isn't subtle, it's a bold, in-your-face error that screams, "Look at me," making it a showstopper at coin shows, where dealers crowd around to marvel at its audacity. Auction history backs up the hype. Early finds in the late 2000s sold for $100,000 to $500,000, but as awareness grew and supply dwindled, many were likely spent or lost. Prices soared, with a 2018 Heritage auction sale hitting $5 million for an MS-67 example, setting the stage for the $28 million peak, fueled by the coin's pristine condition and its emotional pull, because owning it isn't just about wealth, it's about holding a piece of history that captures the unpredictability of fate. Let's dive deeper into the error's mechanics. The speared bison effect comes from a die crack, a fracture in the steel die that transfers as a raised line on the coin, and in this case, the crack was so perfectly positioned it created a spear-like illusion, with some coins showing additional microcracks radiating outward, adding to the complexity and value. Graders like NGC and PCGS reward these for their eye appeal, with top-grade coins commanding premiums for their untouched surfaces and vibrant copper tones. Beyond the speared bison, rumors swirl of even rarer 2005 variants, like a double-die reverse where the Lincoln Memorial's columns appear doubled, or an off-metal strike on a nickel planchet, a ghostly silver penny that's never been confirmed but keeps collectors awake at night, dreaming of the ultimate score. The Philadelphia Mint's massive output in 2005, over 3.8 billion pennies, makes the error's scarcity even more astonishing, likely a result of a single faulty die used for a brief run before being replaced, with most error coins slipping into circulation unnoticed, spent on candy or parking meters by people who had no clue they were handling millions. Let's weave a story. Imagine you're a kid in 2005, buying a soda with change from your piggy bank, one of those coins this very penny, now sitting in a forgotten jar in your attic, waiting for you to rediscover it decades later, your breath catching as you spot the spear under a lamp, a moment where past and present collide, turning nostalgia into wealth. The coin's cultural impact is massive. It's inspired Reddit threads, YouTube tutorials, and even a 2024 Netflix special on rare coins, with the 2005 speared Lincoln as the star, turning coin collecting into a mainstream obsession, with apps now letting anyone skin pennies for errors, making the hunt a modern treasure quest. Emotionally, it's a roller coaster, the thrill of spotting that spear, the regret of wondering how many you've spent, the hope that your next coin roll holds the jackpot, and the FOMO that grips you, because this coin could be sitting unnoticed in your house right now, maybe in that old coffee can your grandma left behind. Auction drama adds fuel. Picture the 2023 sale, the room buzzing as bids climb past $20 million, the gavel slamming at $28 million, the winner beaming as they claim not just a coin but a legend, a story to tell their grandkids about the penny that changed everything. Real finds keep the fire alive. A 2019 discovery in a Florida vending machine led to a $7 million sale, the operator stunned to learn his machine dispensed a fortune, and a 2022 estate sale in New York uncovered one in a child's coin collection, fetching $15 million after a bidding frenzy, each tale a reminder that this coin is out there, waiting. Collectors chase it for the prestige. Owning a 2005 speared Lincoln is like holding a Picasso, a badge of honor in numismatic circles, where stories of finds spark envy and camaraderie, like the 2020 coin show where a dealer unveiled one, drawing gasps and offers on the spot. Technically, the coin's copper composition, still solid copper in 2005, before the zinc switch, gives it a rich, warm glow, but the spear's stark relief against Lincoln's face is what seals its allure, with high-grade coins preserving every detail of the era, making them catnip for graders and collectors alike. Let's storytell again. Picture a struggling artist in 2005, using this penny to buy a sketchpad, unaware it's now worth more than their entire portfolio, a twist of fate that could unfold if you check your own coins today. The hunt is personal. Every 2005 penny you see now feels like a challenge, a dare to look closer, because most people would spend it without realizing its fortune, but you're in the know, armed with the knowledge to spot a spear and claim a legacy. As we close this epic journey, the 2005 Lincoln penny stands as the ultimate prize, a testament to the magic hidden in everyday change, a reminder that fortune favors the observant, and the emotional weight of its story, resilience, luck, and discovery, mirrors Lincoln's own legacy, etched in copper for eternity. So, next time you hold a penny, pause, look for that spear, because this grand finale proves that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest dreams, leaving you inspired to hunt, to dream, and to never overlook the treasures hiding in plain sight.